Welcome once again to another Cup of Conversation on BRT2 TV. My name is John Ghazi, and again in the studio we have a very interesting topic to talk about on a Cup of Conversation. And one of my guests is a lady who's been on my program for many, many years, and I love to invite her back. And the next gentleman next to her is a guy who I interviewed on the radio, but the first time for television. I'd like to welcome back two members, or, well, they're going to introduce themselves formally, but we're talking about the French Cyprus-Turkish Cultural Association. Heran Çiftçi and Gerard Thieu are my guests on a programme today. We've got a lot to talk about, especially forthcoming events for the association. So let's go into France, to Gay Paris, or wherever you want to go in France. Today we're going to go and say bonjour to Heran and to Gerard. Welcome to the programme.
Welcome. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour,
Bonjour, John. Bonjour. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Thank you for coming to the programme today, once again. And I'll start with ladies first. I'll be the gentleman.
Thank you.
And it's good to have you back at BRT again, Mrs. Heran Çiftçi. It's good to see your smiling face.
Oh, thank you. I'm very pleased, and I would like to thank you for inviting us. It's true that I've been several times, but each time I have the same enthusiasm being with you and chatting, and I hope today we will have again a very interesting and fruitful conversation.
Yes.
Thank you to you and to BRT on behalf of my association.
Tell me the exact name of the association. You are the president of the
Yes.
association. What is the
Yes.
name, the formal name?
Well, the name was always the same. In Turkish, Kıbrıs Türk Fransız Kültür Derneği. In French is Association Culturelle Franco-Chypriote Turk, and in English, Turkish Cypriot French Cultural Association.
And you've been with this association for many, many years.
Many years. I am the founder member of the association, and for the last 10 years I'm the president. But before I used to be the active member, and I've taught a lot French lessons also, and I continue to be active member as a president and as a French teacher, French language teacher.
Yes. And when was the association founded? Can you remember the exact date?
Yes, association was founded in 1885.
1985.
85. So we are the oldest association ever, managing to survive, because you know the NGOs have always difficulties, and each year it goes difficult and more difficult to survive, because we are lacking of funds, and of course nowadays we are lacking of interest of the people also, because French language, as you know, in Cyprus is always behind the English language, so this is the inconvenience. But of course our association is not uniquely language, it's cultural also, and it's more European culture also. It's not focused only to French language and French culture. And since last year we have started multicultural education, language teaching in the association. So now we're teaching Greek. We have Greek classes, we have French classes, we have English and German classes also.
Fantastic.
Yes, yes, and Turkish for the foreigners.
Excellent. Sounds very, very interesting. More about that in a minute. But let's turn our attention now to Gerard. Welcome back to BRT. The last time you were here, Gerard, we were on the radio, weren't we?
Yes.
And you were complaining about your accent, but I think you have a very good English accent. You know,
I'm afraid I didn't improve it.
you don't need to improve it. You sound exactly how you should be sounding.
Yes, thank you.
We don't want you to be
Thank you so
speaking
much.
English like the Queen's English.
We are
We
not
want you to
natives,
speak
so...
English with a French accent.
Yeah.
Now, Gerard, tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you from originally? Are you from France?
Yes, I'm from France, from Lyon.
Lyon.
A nice city with a great tradition of gastronomy, Mongolian history. and very happy to be in Cyprus for almost 20 years now.
20 years?
Yes.
Wow.
And happy, very happy.
Very happy here.
And
Good to have you here.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a very nice country, very nice people, and this is what locked me here. Is all the kindness of your people.
Well, it's lovely to have you here again at BRT. Now, if I can be a little bit rude and ask you, what brought you to Cyprus 20 years ago? Was there a reason for coming to the island of Chypre?
Yes, it was business at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was attracted by the way the people are here, living quietly, and the good olives, the good sun, but mostly is the heart of the people that the friendship that I found here.
Yeah.
And with Heran and this association, it's important because it's made of volunteering people, and I'm only one of the volunteers among many, and this is a lot of happiness and joy that we're sharing around the French, around the Turkish values that we are sharing for the peace, and that's very important for me.
Excellent. So how long have you been with the association, working as I assume that you are teaching the students, or are you involved with many other things as well?
Yes, I'm not really a teacher for the beginners. I help Heran to bring some French cultural concept, ideas, and I make conversation. It's not a cup of conversation. I take them in the water to swim directly in the French language.
Yes, into the deep
in the
end.
bath.
Yes, that's good.
And I mean mainly that. And we organize also some game boarding evenings, only for the fun, and try to have people speaking French and all the languages, the way the people are free to speak any language.
Yeah.
And it's just to share culture. That's the most important.
And it's very nice to have that relationship between, you know, Cyprus, North Cyprus and France, and you are happy to be here. You are a proper Frenchman who has mingled with the locals here, so you know both cultures very well. And of course, Heran Hanım, she knows all the languages very well, so she's very connected with language. So it's a very nice, good relationship, yes, you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we are a small association, but we try to manage it properly, and with Heran, that is, as an approach, very professional. At the same time, we are very friendly, and everybody, when there is a small party, everybody bring cakes, homemade, and it's always delicious, or the different plates that we discover, and it's so nice. So you are invited, and everybody is invited, and mainly this 21st of June that we try to make a big party.
Yes.
It's for the fun and sharing the music.
We will talk about the Fête de la Musique a little bit later on in the programme, but I want to go back to you, Heran Hanım, because I know your background because I've interviewed you many times, but for those who have never met you or who have seen you for the first time, how is it that a lady like you knows such good, obviously Turkish and English, but French, Greek, Russian, German, you are multilingual. What's your background, particularly in French? How did you learn French?
Well, I initiated to these languages at a very early age. At the age of 4, I started the St. Joseph School. At that time, it was a religious school, but teaching in both these 3 languages, Greek, English, and French. And that's how I initiated these languages. And of course, when you initiate early, young age, you learn easily. And of course, afterwards, I continue my studies in France, and there Latin was compulsory language. So when you learn Latin, it gives you a path to the other languages also, because it's the mother of many European languages. That's facilitate my learning the other languages. That's how I gain all these languages. But of course, I just defend myself. I don't pretend to be a really native speaker in English, in French, or other languages. But I have a very good knowledge, and I understand well, and I'm able to express myself in these languages, mainly in 5 languages. That's, I don't want to talk too much about myself.
No, but I just wanted to give the background to people so they know how you came to learn French. And with the association now, I think I'm following you on social media. I see what's going on. Not so long ago, we had the Francophonie month.
Yes, every month in our association. It's a tradition since the creation of our association. We try to keep the traditional events, French traditional events. So in January, we start with the galette de roi. It's a special pancake that you do it, and then you choose the king or the queen of the year. And then in February we have la journée de crêpes. So it's the pancake day, and we invite most of the time the children from the school, and mainly the SOS village children. They are eager to come and cook the pancakes. So this is our second month activity. In March it's the Francophonie month, so we celebrate a lot of activities reflecting the Francophonie. And then in
April we have the picnic.
Yes, we had picnics, and we do movie projections, we do poetry nights. This year we did again the poetry night, and the combination of Turkish poets translated into French, and French poets translated into Turkish, and the local poets, the Cypriot poets also, we have invited them, and they came and they performed their poetry that they have written in English and in Turkish. So in all our activities, we try to balance the French European culture and Cypriot generally, and mainly Turkish Cypriot culture. Always we try to do this combination. So, and in June we have Fête de la Musique, which started in France, and then lately it is an international music day. It became an international music day. So we have activities of that kind. So they are based on linguistic and cultural activities. We render training for the French language teachers. We've been doing several training formation for the young, especially the young French language teachers. And this year, with the collaboration of Ministry of Education, we have started. We have chosen a pilot school to start French at the primary level, and we did it, and we had a very big success in 9 Eylül primary school. We start with 20 and we ended with 40 students, and they were very pleased. They have learned French at the 4th year of primary school, and next year I think we will be able to do 4th and the 5th years of primary school. And by this way, maybe we will promote learning the second language, which is French or German, at the school. And we want the students to choose the language, because when they arrive to the secondary school, it's always their parents who show them the way and say, use French or choose German because it's easier. Now, if they start learning at the primary school, they will be free to choose and to continue the language they have chosen in the primary school. And they will be more aware of the language they are using. So this was our aim, and I hope that we will have a success in the forthcoming years.
I'm sure you will, because my son, we were talking off air before the interview started, that my son goes to a private school in Kyrenia, and he is actually in the 3rd year of primary school. And this year they began French lessons in his class, just twice a week.
Yes.
But he really, really enjoys it. They speak Turkish, and they speak, obviously the school is giving
It's by
English.
the game.
But with an extra 3rd language, I think the children that age, they are very quick to learn, aren't they?
Yes, the best age is to learn. So we know that it's not enough, the hours of learning at the secondary school. So unfortunately, they choose a language, a second foreign language, German or French, but it's not enough. The hour of learning is not enough, and they can't really attend to a decent level. But maybe in the future, Minister of Education also will pay more attention to that. Well, we cannot compete with the English language, of course, because they have more hours of teaching and learning. And French, of course, it's a language that it's an utopia for our students because they don't hear it very often. Well, sometimes on the radio, maybe.
Maybe a French song, yes.
There's some French songs, but that's all. Whereas comparing to the English, English is everywhere on the island, and it's a communicative language for our children. Whereas French is not really a communicative language for them because it's not present in their daily life. Yes, you.
Yes. The difficulty is to communicate in French when you are in a country where the tradition and the roots from the post-colonial situation that we have was British. But the approach of the association is very interesting. It's not only a linguistic association. In the name there is cultural association, and that's very important. We do a lot of things about culture, and the approach that we have is with the young children is with game and showing them that there is a different culture from another country named France.
Yeah.
So at the same time, they see that different culture that has some nice thing in the history, and only speaking about Asterix is well known everywhere, and it attracts them and it gets them involved and willing to know more about that language, to know more and be involved in the culture. And the children are very important in the association. I think Heran forgot to mention that talent show that we did just 2 months ago.
Yes, I remember, yes.
And that was a talent show that we did for the children. And they were so cute, all this trying to sing and at the beginning be a little shy, and after they didn't leave the stage and they wanted to continue more songs. So it was very lovely and something that we try to renew. And it was in the Arab Ahmed Cultural Center that we were hosted there with the help of the American University of Cyprus,
yes.
that is just next to the association.
Yes.
And it's an area that is developing as a cultural...
Lovely area of the
Yes.
capital of Costa.
We participate every year, and this year we have participated all the events that run by this civic space from EU. We have participated to Open Door Festival. We've been to Famagusta. We've been to Lefke for the festival. Yes, and we had with Gerard, we had performed a puppet show in French, Selmiye Square, and lately in the Bantaboulia also we had a special day, and we had a stand there again representing French culture and Cypriot culture also. So we attend to many of the activities rendering cultural and linguistic theme.
I think the association is doing fantastic work because you're not only bringing the language to the children or to the adults, because the reason why we met is because my immediate boss, Mrs. Ulfet Korkmaz, she actually started evening classes at your association.
Still continuing.
We met. She's continuing there as well. So it's not just for the children, but for adults. But you are giving language, but also, like you said, Gerard, the culture to the people. You are learning about the Cypriot culture, and obviously the Cypriots are learning about the French culture. And I think that makes it more interesting for the people.
And what you should know is that that's what I try to do through conversation and little lecture that I give with a lot of modesty. But the first one was about Rodin, the sculpture.
Yes.
The next one was about the city of Lyon, from where I am. And then we did the board gaming, and we are the plans to do in the autumn, walking in the forest, to explain the geology of Cyprus in French. And this is something that I love a lot. And we have also planned some session about the French cheese that are so lovely. So you can always be welcome to share at least the cheese if you cannot share the language.
Yes, lovely, lovely.
Oh, we used to have hot wine nights also, and cheese night, yes, and vice versa, salep, çörek, hellim night. Yes, we
That's
do.
fantastic.
We do the both.
Bringing the two cultures
Yes,
together.
two
Why not?
culture good. Yes, yeah.
We can share a lot of things.
There are a lot of things that we can share. So tell us about the association. At the moment, you are based in the Alabama quarter of Lebanon.
Yes, it's a house, 100 years old house, Ottoman house, and it was about to collapse when we discovered this house. And from the save, we got a fund and we restored this house. So we gained this
This building.
building and add to the culture also.
Yes.
Yes, and now it's a big house with a big I'm going to say a garden.
Jardin.
Jardin, I was going to.
Jardin. Why not?
Yes. Thinking French and speaking
Why
English
not?
is
We can speak in all languages here. Yes, with a great garden as
yes,
well, yes.
with a big garden. So we take the opportunity to do some of our summer activities on this in this garden, and pretty soon we're going to celebrate Fête de la Musique in this garden also. We hope that pretty soon this district of Arab Ahmed will become really a cultural center of Nicosia. This is why we moved to this house. We hope that we will have this chance to see Arab Ahmed as a cultural center of Nicosia. Nowadays, well, I see that some other associations are interesting to come. Maybe they will succeed to come and to form, because in many cities in Europe there are typical cultural districts.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe Arab Ahmed will be an example.
I think so. It should be, definitely. It's a lovely area.
It's a lovely area with plenty of old houses, Ottoman houses, and other civilization houses also. I have seen Armenian church, Armenian house, and other cultures' houses, but mainly Ottoman houses we have in the Arab Ahmed district. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful building. I've seen it. I've seen the building. So at this building in Arab Ahmed, you have French lessons, and is that normally in the afternoon, in the evening, throughout the day, weekend? How does it work?
Well, we give lessons in the afternoon, because during the daytime the children and adults also, they are either in the school or working. So our lessons mainly start after 4 o'clock and it goes till 8 even. We have a course which ends at 9 o'clock. And we try to accommodate the hours according to the need of the pupil and according to their availability, because for the adults there's some working late in the afternoon, so they cannot come before 6 o'clock, such as Ülfet Hanım's group. We start at 6:30 and we go till 8 or 8:30.
Yeah.
And for the children, we start at 5 o'clock. Once that they come back from the school, 4 o'clock, so they have a little break at home, and then they come. So from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Most of our courses for the school students, it lasts 1.5 hours, and for the adults, it's 2 hours. Once a week, or they have the opportunity to have twice a week, 1.5, in total 3 hours per week also. But we give private lessons also whenever it's needed and demanded. I think that's all I can talk about.
So there's French for all levels.
Yes, French, all levels and to all ages.
Fantastic, sounds good.
Yes.
Gerard, I mean, you are part of this association and you are bringing French language and French culture to North Cyprus. What have you experienced during your time with the association? Do you see more people enjoying learning French, about the French culture? Are you happy with the students that you are seeing and teaching?
Yes, the good thing is that we saw some students years ago that now are teachers. And that's a good point.
Very good.
Because it shows that the way, the environment that we are providing, it was attractive enough to show them that there is also a possibility to get a good job, and a job doing something that you love. That means communicating, interacting with children, and to transfer the knowledge that you got some years ago. And this is very important. This is why we put the stress on the cultural fact. It's not only to learn the grammar and the rules that are always very difficult and is really boring, you know it, but when you put some ideas of how the people live in France, or it's not only in France, because Francophonie is very wide. Yes. French is shared in a big association that is not managed by French people, but all the Francophone, the French-speaking people in the world. And it's a large number of countries everywhere, in Africa, in Asia, in America, and in Europe.
Yes.
So it shows also that you have the possibility to go and to meet other people from other countries, not only French people, but people that will bring something else. And we just met one of your friends that is from Algeria.
Yes, yes. We have an intern here. Yes. He's Fazl Mohammed, and he's from Algeria. And he's sitting, I wanted to introduce him to you guys today, because even though he's graduating and he'll be leaving the island soon, I thought it would be nice to...
But it was very pleasant.
Meet with him. Like you say, Francophonie everywhere, in many countries around the world, not just France. You know, we're talking about many European countries, as you said, African countries, Canada, many countries. So French actually is very widespread. A very important language, I think. I mean, I have a close love with French because I learned French at school, at high school. Back in the UK many, many years ago. So I really do like the French language. It's a beautiful language, beautiful country. And I think that many people here should learn an extra language, not just English, but to learn either French or another third language. And as you said about your students going on to maybe becoming teachers, I think if you are serious with French, you either learn it for business. If you're a businessman, you want to speak with, your business partners in a French country, or you do it because you enjoy French, and then naturally you become a French teacher maybe in the future.
That's right.
Isn't it really, when you think about it?
Yes, I'm very proud that nowadays the committee members are all our former students, and now we are teaching French with our students. They are newly become French, they graduate, and now they are teaching at as well as in public and in the private schools in the north, and I'm very proud to see them. They were once my students. I helped them to learn and to succeed in the exams, and then we helped them to go to France or other Francophone countries for the university studies, because we render that kind of services also. Those who want to do their studies in France or any French-speaking countries, they come to us and we help them and we guide them. We do the consulting also to those who are willing to do their studies or willing to go and as a tourist or for other purposes. So it's not, we do not only give lessons in the association, but we do help people who are interested to this language, this culture, or any country. And I would like to say also that French is nowadays coming a very, very important language in the European Union also, because with the Brexit now, the English will withdraw, and then the second main language will be French. So
yes.
those who are listening us, I recommend them to learn this language. That will be very...
learn French.
Yes.
That's the way forward for Europe.
And,
Yes.
and another reason to learn French, of course, it's a lovely language. It's very poetic, very nice, and it's very easy to learn. Contrary to the prejudice, believe me, it's not as difficult as German or other languages. No, it's very easy. It all depends how you teach them and which method you use.
Yes.
So with a good method, you can learn all the languages without any difficulty. But if the method is not good, then you struggle, and every language appears difficult for you. So there is Africa, a very big and moving Africa coming, and you know that many countries in Africa is French speaking. So for those who are listening us and willing to do trade or other kind of collaboration with Africa, French language will be again a very important and dominant language. So you know there are many other reasons to learn French. Of course, learning foreign languages, it gives you the freedom of conversation, freedom of communication. If you know many languages, you have opportunity to talk with many different people. So, but mainly, of course, we are here for French language, so I stress on learning French nowadays. Very important and useful, believe me.
Yeah.
And I would like to say, Gerard, yes, he is not teacher, so he's not teaching at our association, but he's helping us because we need French-speaking native speakers to improve our language also, because teaching only in the classes limits you. And as you know, the foreign language, if you don't use it, you forget it easily.
Yes.
So the presence of Gerard is very good for our students, but for us also, the teachers, we need really natives to practice our language. And in that level, he's very helpful, and he's always with us. We have conversation classes with the French teachers, so that's very interesting. And he's doing projections on cultural things. So I would like to thank him being with us. Yes, and he always helps us in our events, activities. He gives us ideas also. And of course, he's a bridge to France,
yeah.
Yes, and to Cyprus. So we are very proud to have.
Yes.
So we have other friends, French friends living in South, that they come and they contribute, and they encourage us in what we are doing, because all we need, of course, we need financial support, but we need more moral support also. We want to feel that what we are doing in this association is useful, and it should be continued. Because there are periods that we are asking ourselves, for what this association French? Where is French in the Turkish Cypriot society?
Well, I think that you are doing a great job. It's a very important place in the society of the Turkish Cypriots. And Gerard, I think that you should make a rule that when anyone enters the building, we all speak French, no Turkish, no English. Everyone, the students, teachers, bonjour, bonjour. Come in. Comment ça va? Ça va bien?
That's very difficult, because the approach we have is not an imperialist or post-colonialist approach. It's a very open. The doors are always open, and we try to make it also open in our mind to the ideas.
But I learned Italian. I went to Italy for 6 months when I was a student. And when we had Italian lessons, the Italian teacher said, when you come into the lesson, who will speak in Italian. So, you know, because if you start speaking in English, which is the universal language, then you start slipping
So
into English.
are you ready to take a challenge?
I can. No, don't challenge me,
The
don't
next
challenge me.
interview will be in French. Are you ready?
Why don't you join us, our evening courses, just
Why
to
not?
refresh
Why not?
your memory in French?
But all I know is that French is a beautiful language. My son is enjoying French.
So
with
this is
one of
another
your
reason. If you refresh
ex-students,
your
I think.
French, you can be helpful to your son also.
Yes. Mr. Fidai, he's the French teacher. I think you know Fidai as well. don't you,
Yes,
as well?
he was
So-
one of our former students.
So
Yes.
you have taught your students well,
Yeah.
and they are now teaching.
They are teaching.
other students. So
Yes,
you're doing
yes.
a good job.
Yes,
So do not
we are
ask do not ask yourselves, what are we doing? You're doing a fantastic job, Heran and Gerard as well.
The
Now-
survey I have done, we've got about 60 French language teachers on the north side of the island, and 40% of these French teachers have been once our student, or once they have finished their completed their education, they have spent some time, because the new teachers, they spend some time, they pass the training period in the association, most of them. So the 40% of the active French language teachers on the north are have linked or have spent time in association in the past.
So you should be very proud of yourself.
Yes, I'm very.
You should-
We are.
You
of
are.
course,
All of
we
you.
are. We
Everyone
are.
involved.
Everyone in the association.
At the beginning of the interview, we mentioned very briefly, let's go into a bit more detail now, about Fête de la Musique, which is coming up on the 21st of June. And as Gerard quite rightly said, it's going to be held at the association headquarters in Arab Ahmed. And this is something that you sent to me, Gerard. Now, the 21st of June is the longest day of the year. It's the summer solstice. It's very symbolic and a unique date. It's the day of the year that has the most sunlight. The summer solstice for festival solstice, also known as midsummer, occurs when the Earth's rotational axis, or north geographical pole, is most greatly inclined towards the sun. Now, this is also known as Music Day.
Yes.
Fête de la Musique. And it's a festival that was launched in 1982.
Yes.
In Paris.
What happened in France in 1981, there was a new government with new ideas. And Jacques Lang was named Minister of the Culture for France. And they made a study during 1 year, and among all the things, they discovered that there were 5 million kids learning music in the schools, but you never see them. And he had the idea to take a day in the year that will be the day of the music, with an event in the evening where everybody can play music they love for the pleasure of sharing the music with their neighbor, their family, or any foreigner that can be passing. So they did it with the concept of not a street music festival, not a theater place, but everything at the same time. So that day, if I was in Paris at that period in the 80s and 90s, and you walk that day in Paris, in the street, each corner you can find a band or a soloist or somebody singing a cappella, just because they ask the authorization from the municipality and they get an area given for them. And all the theater has open doors. Opera, all the great places for music, they play something traditional, but with the people coming in and out with open doors. So this is a spirit that is opening the heart of people to the music, and allowing people that love music to show the love and the enthusiasm. And because music, it seems easy when you see people singing or playing. But I try, not with that finger, but I try being guitar and piano, I can tell you, it's very difficult. Even singing requires a lot of effort. So now it's 13 years that...
14
years.
Yes, but we've been celebrating
in Nicosia. So they started in 2003 or 4.
Yes, 4.
And now it's a tradition in the garden of the... And we have the ambition that maybe in the next year to open it to other association other places to try to make something similar and allowing. So that day, if you come with your instrument without plan, you arrive with your guitar or your flute. I know you
or
have
violin.
You can bring your violin, or you can bring your children if they are your best instrument, and we'll have slot for professional, but after it will be free. The people that would want, they can take the stage for 5 minutes and enjoy the event.
And everyone loves music, don't they, Gerard?
Yes.
We all love music.
And
So what a great way
all
to bring
kind of
everyone.
music, either jazz or either classical music or traditional
yes.
music from and I discover it was at the association. There was 2 years ago. There was a music, and all the people, everybody was dancing at the end of the night. And that music, I was with our friend Kemal, and I said, that music is Turkish, but what it is? He said, it's very popular. I said, but I know that the music, not the words, the lyrics, but I know that. He said, yes, this is one of your French singers. There is an area in deep Turkey, and they translated that music in Turkish. So it's going back as a nice song. So you see, the way you can share, you share any form of culture.
Music is a universal language.
Yes. So on the day, on the 21st of June, what will happen? Very briefly, tell us what's happening that day, because we are interested in what's going on.
Yes, we've been doing this and celebrating this Fête de la Musique for the last 14 years. We announce this activity to our members and to our surrounding, and we invite people, the professionals and the amateurs, and the teachers also invite their students if they are willing to perform any musical instrument or any performance, singing or dancing even. What is traditional in our activity is that every year the municipality band, Latino Trio, we start with the municipality band, Latino Trio, so this year they will be with us also. And every year we have SOS Children Village also. They attend to our activity and they perform, the little children, they perform, their dance, and they're very happy to be with us, with the other children and with the other musicians. So this year also we will have again our children from the SOS village, and every year we have different amateurs coming. They heard from radio or somewhere else, or they have seen our posters. So they phone us and they said, okay, you're free to come and perform 1 or 2 song or other type of performance. So and this year Bicommunal Choir of Nicosia will be with us to perform French and Greek songs, and then we will have again our students performing the French songs that they have learned during their French classes, and we will have some local.
There will be children from TED College.
Yes, the children from the and there will be every year the nearest university music department attend and they perform. So we will have again this year nearest university music department performing. So the last year the graduating student will perform their music.
So what we can say is start at 7. Usually it finish before or around midnight. You can come from 7. Entrance is free. There will be food free made by the members volunteering association. Well, contributions are welcome, of course, because we will give the proceeds to the SOS Children Village, and you know that association is helping its orphans and provide them not only a shelter but also providing them warm environment, and that's why we invite always the children, and we do a lot of things with them. They are lovely.
Well, I want to thank you very much, both of you, for coming in today. I know you are very busy and you had to reschedule your own private work to come today to BRTK, but it sounds like Fête de la Musique is going to be a good event on 21st of June. Everyone is invited, like Gerard and Heran Hanım said, from 7 p.m. onwards. To find out more about the association, do you have a website?
Yes, we have website, we have Facebook group and Twitter, Twitter and all
All of them.
social.
So if you write the Cyprus Turkish French Cultural Association, you will find out more about the events, what's going on throughout the whole year. But really, if you want to learn language and if you want to learn it in a fun way, then this is the association to go to in the capital, Lefkoşa. So, Gerard, Thieu and Heran Çiftçi, thank you very much. Good luck with all your events.
Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, John.
Merci.
Merci
both of you.
Merci beaucoup.
And I wish you all the best for the future. Keep us informed on what's going on. Send us your posters.
Will do.
Send us your information, and we will share it on our
Will
programs here at Barak Radio Television Corporation here at BRCK. And may you always be smiling and happy like this. Touch wood, as they say. You know, you deserve all the best. Thank you for all your efforts. It's much appreciated.
Thank you for that cup of conversation. And if you want a cup of tea or coffee, you come to the association.
Of course.
And everybody will welcome.
A cup of tea or coffee with you guys is always a beautiful cup of tea or coffee. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I would like to thank once more inviting us. Thank you. And I would like to see you in our...
The pleasure is all ours, and see you again soon here in the studios. Thank you very much. With that, we've come to the end of a couple conversation with a very French theme. Oh la la, very beautiful with Gerard and Heran. But don't forget that you can find out more going on to social media for these wonderful people. Until next time we meet here in the studios of BRTK in Lefkoşa, take care, go well, and as they say in France, au revoir.